Good morning and welcome to the ADS Securities Markets Update. We'll start our video today with a look at the ECB decision, which was disappointing, especially for the Euro bears. The bank left the current rates unchanged as widely expected. However, the bank also announced the ABS buying program. But the bank gave only a few details in the press conference and noted that the details will be released after the press conference. However, everyone was looking for the size of the program. Mario Draghi tried as much as he can not to answer these questions by the journalists. However, he only mentioned that the program will be for 2 years and they might buy up to 1 trillion euros. Following the conference, the buying program details showed a few more information only, but at the same time, the exact size of the programs remain unknown, which led to a rally in the euro nearing 1.27, which remains a solid resistance so far, followed by 1.2750. As for the Asian session today, a collection of economic figures were released during the Asian session from Australia, China, and Japan, which had a muted impact on the market, while the Asian equities continue to sell off following the declines in Europe and the US as well. In Australia, the AIG Services Index shrank for the 5th month in a row, declining to 45.4 in September, down from 49.4 in August, which is the biggest shrinking since September of last year. However, the good news came in from the new home sales, which increased by the most since March of this year, rising by 3.3% in August after a sharp decline of 5.7% in July. In China, the non-manufacturing PMI came in with another disappointment, declining back to 54 in September, down from 54.4 in August, which is the lowest reading since February of this year. Finally, in Japan, the Services PMI showed a positive surprise, rising toward 52.8 in September, up from 54.4 in August. This is also the 5th monthly rise in a row and the highest reading since March of this year, and also the biggest monthly increase since May of this year. As for the European session today, the eyes will be headed toward the Services PMIs across Europe from France, Germany, Spain, Italy, the Eurozone, and the UK, which may have a slight impact on the market ahead of the US jobs report, which will be released also later today. However, the German banks will be closed in observance of the German Unity Day. The Services PMIs are expected to come in weaker in September comparing to August readings. In Spain, the Services PMI may decline for the first time since 2 months toward 57 from 58.1, but remains near a record high. In Italy, the services sector may shrink for the 2nd month in a row, and the PMI is likely to decline toward 49.6, down from 49.8, which would be the lowest reading since January of this year. In France, France has the same story. The services PMI may shrink to 49.4, which would be the lowest reading since June of this year. And in Germany and the Eurozone, the services PMI is expected to remain stable or unrevised at 55.4 and 52.8 respectively for the month of September. In the UK, the services PMI may post the first decline in 2 months toward 59, down from 60.5. However, it remains near the highest level since October of last year. Finally, in the Eurozone, the retail sales may rise slightly by 0.1% in August after a sharp decline of 0.4% in July. Going forward to the key session today, which is the US session, there are a collection of economic releases from Canada and the US. However, the main focus will be on the US jobs report. Beginning with Canada, the trade balance surplus is expected to ease back to $1.5 billion in August, down from $2.6 billion, which would be the first surplus decline in 2 months. In the US, and starting with the trade balance deficit, the estimates are to widen toward minus $41 billion in August, comparing to minus $40.5 billion in July. The final services PMI is expected to remain unrevised or stable at 58.5 in September, and the ISM non-manufacturing PMI set to decline toward 58.5 in September, down from 59.6 in August, which would be the first decline in 2 months, but also will remain near the highest level since August of 2005. As for the major event today from the US, the jobs report will be released today at 12:30 GMT time, which is around 16:30 Abu Dhabi time. The economy is expected to add an average of 216,000 new jobs in September, comparing to 142,000 jobs in August. Any reading below 150,000 new jobs will be considered as a disappointing result, which also will raise some questions about the reason behind the slowing down. The unemployment rate is expected to remain stable at 6.1%. And finally, and the most important figure today is the wages growth, which will be in focus today. The estimates are to rise by 0.2% in September, which is the same monthly increase in August. Any disappointment will ease the speculation for a sooner rate hike by the Federal Reserve and likely to pose the US dollar rally. Stay tuned today as we will publish our special report about the US non-farm payrolls today, discussing the expected outcomes and the possible impact on some of the major currencies. This is it for today. You can follow us on our social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube to get the latest economic releases, reports, and analysis. Thank you for watching and have a good weekend.